little bit. Wow,
There
wow,
we
there
go.
I am.
There we go. Whoa.
Hey,
How have you been, sir? How have you been?
it's been a crazy. I don't know how long it's been since we've been on here, but
It's been a
it's
little
been
bit.
crazy. Yeah, it's been crazy.
Been a little bit. Hey, shout out to Jeff Hauser, guys. Hit that link over there. Get a fellow racer there. What's he going for? Some all-star voting. So give a fellow racer some help there. Give him some all-star votes. What do we you've been following a little tyke. I shouldn't say a little tyke, but you've been following the future of racing over there in Pennsylvania. Give us a rundown of what you got there. What he's doing. It seems like he's doing some big things.
Yeah, so friend of mine, Jason Klinger, running 270 micros. I asked if we could, kind of like team up with him and his son and Mighty Mac Motorsports for the rest of this year and going into next year and help with updates for them. And seems like his son's the hot shoe right now. Sorry, Jason. Son picked up his first ever quarter midget win, which you know about what it's like to run the quarter midgets. You've been through it. 7 races, dude. 7 races in. He's 5 years old. Well, 6 years old, and he gets his first win. So great job, Mason. Friday, I was actually at Linda's to watch Jason. He's 4th in points. He's only like 49 points out of the championship. Heat race, 1 lap from winning his heat race, side by side with the guy who ended up winning the feature, and gave it up on the last lap, and then just had a little bit of issues with grip in the feature. Went 5th to 9th, but solid performance. I'm kind of glad though that they're going to help us out. We're going to help them out, and they're good people. So the future is looking great for racing, especially in Pennsylvania.
There you go. Absolutely loving that. I always love seeing the little guys out there. We got a little one here out in the Indianapolis area, Case, and his brother. I'm terrible. I can't remember his name. I know he goes by Captain Kool-Aid, though. So you got the Flying Deuce and Captain Kool-Aid out there racing some go-karts. They're doing fantastic things out there. It's Captain Kool-Aid's first year. And the funny thing is, in NASCAR before, at the beginning of the year, when Fox is doing the broadcast, they do that put it out deal.
Yeah.
It was like, put it out, And Captain Kool-Aid was on there. His dad got him, and they were testing out the go-kart for the first time, and he smashes the gas and turns right towards Dad, flips Dad. Dad jumps over the go-kart. It was perfect. It was fantastic. So they're doing some good things out there. I always love to see the little guys out there doing some good things and really putting it forward. We got another podcaster as well, Asher's Racing Channel. I don't know if you've seen any of his stuff.
I've seen some.
He's starting to really pull through here and do some good things as well. So I know that it was about a year in the making, but he's doing it and he's loving it there. So it's awesome to see those little guys out there making it happen, if you will. So we talked about the future. Let's talk about the present now. We got a lot of crazy things happening. First of all, you've got we haven't spoke since the Indy Road Course here with NASCAR. Larson just kind of pitching it in there. It kind of looks like he maybe did the same thing, just a little less aggressive, if you will, to get that win. What do you think about Larson's move there? Did you see it? Were you able to watch that? Because I'll give you my opinion after you run down you there.
I mean, I think he knew what he was doing. I think he knew that he was going to drive it in a little bit extra harder than what he wanted to. But the whole thing of like Chase Elliott being a little baby over, sarcastically a baby over it, like, dude, it's racing. Like, this isn't Formula One where there's team orders like, oh, he has to let you win. I understand that it wasn't the best move in the world, but Larson probably could have gave a little bit in that race or in that restart, but you're going for the win, dude. Like, and Elliott had nothing to lose. He had the regular season championship locked up. So,
yep,
I'm fine with it. I was fine with the move.
I think you look back in NASCAR's their heyday, their great day there. Gordon, if he's in that inside line to do the same thing, he's going to do that. You look at Earnhardt. If he's there, he's going to do that. Those guys are going to constantly make that move, especially late in the run like that. What's going on, Adam? We got one of the guys out from the NASRA. I got to remember how to say that. They were saying it like it was nothing last night. And I had to keep calling it the NASRA because I'm not that good yet. I'm not that good yet. I got to get used to it. But welcome, Adam. Thanks for tuning in. But I think any drive. I think you put Chase on the inside there.
Oh, he does that move.
And he does the same thing.
10 out of 10.
Exactly, right. So you could be mad. You can be upset. I get that. You're not happy. You just, ended up, or you had that win. And what'd you finish? 4th? So you were off the podium then. But, man, I think Rick and Jeff got to sit those guys down and be like, guys, listen, you're going to be working together for a long time here. We got to find a middle ground here because this isn't going to work. This isn't going to be Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson. You guys aren't going to be Jeff Gordon, Terry Labonte. It's not going to be a great team if you guys can't work together. And right now, you're not working together, and it's very clear. And then I love everybody on Facebook and social media is so unforgiving because the funniest thing was, we're at Bristol next week. I'm just looking forward to Bristol. And the best meme I've seen is Chase is going to be highly upset when they show up to Daytona next week.
Nobody's there.
Yeah, they show up to Daytona. He opens his eyes, or he gets to Bristol and nobody else is there. That's good. That's good. So, really, I think NASCAR is he says you look like Dan. I apologize. Somebody's really knocking on you there. No, I'm just joking around. How you doing, Mr. Matt? It's been a long time.
I'll take it.
But I think NASCAR going into the playoffs right now is in a solid state. You got that one more race before the playoffs. You got guys that are really fighting for it. I can't remember off the top of my head. There's a list. It's like the NFL right now. When you're in week 13, 14, for the Cowboys to get into the playoffs, they need this to happen. And that's what it is for both Ryan Blaney and Martin Truex Jr., pretty much those two.
Blaney's in by 25 points right now. So as long as he doesn't finish dead last and gets in on he can get in on points.
Or what if Michael McDowell wins another Daytona? Right. Boom, you're out. Just like that. So it's definitely an interesting little event here. I think it's a great thing to watch right now. I think NASCAR really hit it. And I'm going to tell you what. I think that was honestly one of the most entertaining Watkins Glen races that we have seen in a while. What do you think on the entertainment value of the Watkins Glen area? I thought that was awesome. I thought it was fantastic.
I think the hype of it was worth it, too. I mean, you're talking we got to see Kimi Räikkönen make his Cup Series debut, and he was doing decent until he got, everybody says Chastain.
Chastain, baby. You got Chastain.
But I think in general, though, this car and road courses work. I hate road courses. I hate that we have so many road courses this year, but it works. I think this was probably
I love road courses.
Oh, I mean, I'm okay.
I see where
with Watkins Glen and stuff though.
No, I'm with you. I see the excessive amount of road, the IndyCar, the Indy track, and so on and so forth. I see where people are coming from when they say they're almost sick and tired of.
But it works though. I mean, it really does. And if you notice, of the last 2 road course races here, so we'll go all the way back to even Indy. Look at some of the guys that were in the top 10 for that. Buescher, Bubba Wallace, Harrison Burton, Michael McDowell, Todd Gilliland. Todd Gilliland probably would have got another top 10 this week if he didn't have the rear end go out. So it's a whole different ball game. I like it. I think it's an even playing field, but I just hate the fact that there's so many of them.
and see, but like you said, I think the change of style here, it really makes it almost like you have the IndyCar side of things where it was like that used to be your oval road course. It was a good mix. Now it's more road course racing compared to the ovals, and NASCAR is kind of taking that style and saying, okay, if you want to claim that you're one of the best drivers in the world, you're going to have to do it on everything because next year they're even going to a street course. So. I think what they're doing right now. Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying that's the right street course, but yeah, I think what they're doing right now is honestly not a terrible thing. So really setting the bar heavy here, and then like you were talking about, seeing Kimi in a NASCAR, and he was really doing a solid job. They had some solid strategy there. unfortunately for him, just got caught up in that incident in the bus stop when Chastain used somebody else as a brake, and then Kimi was just an unfortunate bystander, if you will. But you shared a picture with me today, and I didn't realize this. He got a nice little. He probably didn't lift off of that wheel, and I'm surprised because you think F1 guys would, and maybe there's something in the F1 car when they have that impact, they don't have to do what like IndyCar and those guys do. But it looks like that wheel just snapped on him because he's got a nice little thumb bruise, if you will, or swelling.
Well, so a coworker of mine, him and I talk F1 IndyCar all the time because he's big into both, and he even said like. After I showed him the picture, because you would think for him being an F1 guy, like his first reaction would have been take
your hands off the wheel, right? Exactly. you would have thought.
I like the caption on it though that he put on his own like picture of it was meatball pizza with a meatball hand or whatever. Yeah.
So another thing is though that I can think about that was possibly an issue is you got to think of the runoff in F1 is a lot bigger than what it is. I shouldn't say that because like Monaco has no runoff and there's tracks like that. So I'll throw that comment out the window. I'll just shut up on that.
No. You're on the right track on that because I've been seeing a lot of people talking on social media. Other drivers from other series, they like the idea of like what NASCAR did for COTA, what they have done for Indy, and all the road courses. Is that runoff is not a penalty.
Right.
And it makes the racing so much better because you have so much more room. And you're not having to worry about leaning on the guy on the outside or the guy on the inside.
I don't think NASCAR, I think, is the only one that could hit those curbs and not ruin their car. Because I think if you go over a curb like that in IndyCar, you're bottoming out, and you could end up seeing the side.
Watkins Glen changed their curbing around though. Like if you notice, it looked like it was flatter than it's ever been, and even the Indy road course, after that debacle they had last year.
Now, Indies are a lot more flat, but if you, and I don't know how accurate it is being on iRacing, but at least iRacing's curbs at Watkins Glen still have those pretty big bumps there. So to go over in the NASCAR, it still kind of shakes you. That's I just don't know if they'd be able to hit that in IndyCar. I want to see him go back to Watkins Glen so bad. In Indy, I think that would be a really good race. See him take on the boot and everything because so much of that track just not available for NASCAR, really.
I think if they would flatten the curbs a little bit, I think it would be good. But like, if all of the series would do like what NASCAR is doing with the runoff, I think we would see a lot less controversy on like, oh, did this guy leave the track limits when he made the pass? I'm looking at you, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen.
But at least now in F1, they've made it clear all four tires are off or it's not a penalty. So at least now they have made it more clear. But can you imagine if the NASCARs weren't given that opportunity to take it wide like that?
Dude, it'd be a wreck fest.
Oh, you'd be cutting so much speed because you'd have to cut that corner. So those cars don't turn. They don't have the downforce like those Indy cars, like everything else that runs at the Glen. So I think you almost have to give them that room. If not, it would just be absolutely chaotic.
Dude, we would be seeing wrecks like the one with, excuse me, what's his face? When Rudiman flipped. Remember that?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what it'd be like at all the road courses if they didn't have the runoffs like that. Because everybody would just be beating and banging on each other. The only way you'd be able to pass is to wreck them.
Yep, pretty much, yeah, exactly. So we've got a big chase here, IndyCar-wise, and those guys really putting on a show here. And it goes back to the old days. Penske versus Ganassi for the most part. Pretty interesting run. You've got Palou still in it. You've got out of Ganassi. I want to say Ericsson's still in the fight. Dixon's still in the fight. Then you go to Penske, and you've got McLaughlin in the fight. You've got Will Power in the fight. You got Newgarden in the fight. So it's very interesting. I think they're still listing Pat O'Ward in that 7th place that still has an opportunity.
Yeah. He's only like, 58 points out?
He'd have to have a lot really work in his favor. He'd have to have Newgarden have a DNF, Will Power have a DNF. Because right now, Will Power's doing one of he's not looking for wins necessarily. And he's going out there and really just putting it give me a top 5 and I'm happy is what Will Power seems to have the motto of this year, and it's really showing to benefit. And I mean, heck, he's in first in the points, and if you look, I think it's 4 races left, maybe 5 races left. I don't think it goes anywhere else but Will Power with how dominant he's being right now.
I mean, I'm not going to count out the guy who won the Indy 500 though, because he's probably been one of the most consistent guys in general.
But I'm going to say Will Power is the most consistent.
No, other than Will Power, I'm saying other than Will Power. Ever since he's won that Indy 500, Ericsson's been there. He's got that chance, but dude, anybody in the basically top 7 right now.
I think Newgarden is the best contender there for help me out there, Power.
I don't know. I'm still sold on Ericsson. Like, there's a guy who you want to see that is deserving of winning this championship. Not saying nobody else isn't. But
if it wasn't for double points, he's not up there. That's the thing. And I know, I mean, the 500's a huge race to win, but if it's not for those double points that he won for winning the 500, I mean, he's sitting in 6th, 7th, maybe 8th place. So I know that's a lot of what ifs. I kind of wish they would get rid of the double points of the Indy 500. I get the glory of it. Trust me. I love the race. I go every year. But I think the double points is just a little too much, because you see this in every season when the guy that wins the 500, like Sato, for example. Sato wins the 500. He may have won one other race throughout that season, but he's riding a consistent top in the points. But when you look at his season, if he didn't have double points in Indy, he'd be, again, 7th, 8th place, just because those other races. I think Ericsson's got I don't know if he's got any DNFs, but he's got a few in the teens. He's just not there. Will Power, like I said, man, he's pretty set on the top 5 this season. He is pretty strong up there, and it's really showing his patience. It's like he's a whole new driver. These guys have talked about it on the broadcast throughout the season, how much he has changed this year, because back in the few years past, he gets upset. He gets frustrated in traffic. He gets frustrated after the race. Now he's happy. He's getting out of that car. It's like a whole new mindset as Will Power enters into the latter stages of his career. So I think to win a title there, so much runs on the line, because you could get yourself another 2-3 years at Penske, or you could find yourself looking for a ride with Andretti or somebody like that, and I don't know Will Power really wants to give up his ride.
So just for argument purposes, since the Indy 500, Ericsson's worst finish is 14th at Nashville, and that was because of a mechanical problem with 4 laps to go.
And I'm with you there, but like I said,
so he's been up there. I mean, so you take out, so let's say he finishes in the top 10 in that race, he's 30 points out of the points lead. You know what I mean? I mean, I get it. I get what you're saying, like the double
points.
Yeah,
exactly.
But going into that though, okay, so he finished 4th at the GMR Grand Prix. He finished, what was it, 12th in Alabama. So like, it's not like he's been completely out of it. So he's been there. I mean,
right? He's fighting. And the Ganassi's giving him a heck of a ride. But at the same time, you see Dixon climbing up, and anytime you see Dixon working his way up through the standings here, you almost wonder how many resources there are going to move to Scott that has done this before. He's been in this situation. He's the Iceman. This is why they call him that. He's on it. He's getting hot when you need him to get hot. So it'll be interesting. I think they've done Rope Pillow out of the equation there, because ever since he kind of had the whole issue here, which kind of leads me into another thing, is like, what are you going to do if you do sign this guy next year? Like, the morale is going to be so bad there. The entire chemistry in that team, the next year he's gone. You're not going to want to deal with that. God forbid you do get him back. So I just think that's got to be the most awkward situation. That's more awkward than like the F1 guys right now. I think that's more awkward than the Daniel Ricciardo situation, in all honesty. Because right now, Ricciardo knows he's sitting on the outside. He's waiting to get paid, but nobody's saying anything. So I mean, that's awkward, but I think you look at this whole thing and the Palou situation, and so much has happened since he's mentioned about or talked about that, and that all started coming here to fruition, and you see now it's really all driver. It doesn't seem like he's getting much help in the garage.
I mean, the last I saw, he was for sure going to McLaren in 2023. So unless that has changed.
Oh, Ganassi has him in. They're in federal court over this.
Right. So
federal court rules that you're not racing there. Your contract's binding here. Well, then you either quit IndyCar for a year or you ride with this guy, and good luck. So the only thing, because they're talking about that F1 clause. So I almost start to wonder if Palou is going to be out of IndyCar next year and being a reserve driver for F1 McLaren. That would be the way out of the contract, if you will, legally.
So my question for you on that, though, so let's say he does that. Can he run in like F3 then? Like Formula 3?
I don't think so, but I'm not 100% certain on that. I would think, and if they were going to put him in there, he's got enough that he could start in F2, I believe. And McLaren has enough backing there that they'd be able to fund that. But I would think that they would rather just keep it because the cars are so different. Right. That you almost, it would be a hard adjustment to go from the IndyCar to the F2 and then the F2 to the F1. So I think they would rather just put him in an F1 ride.
No, the only reason why, so I'm asking that because I would hate to see him sit out a year to jump over to McLaren and then drive
McLaren. You might not make a move back. It could be very hard. We saw Pat O'Ward do kind of the same thing when Red Bull came to him and said, hey, man, we want to sign you. But then they put him in like a GT3 car, and he didn't get to do anything really with the open wheel. I think he did a Formula Europe or something like that, but really didn't get to do kind of what Red Bull had promised. So I think, honestly, it's going to be the same situation. And right now, I really think Zach Brown is becoming one of the more untrustworthy, one of the more guys that people are going to start maybe being a little more unfaithful to. So it'll be interesting. We all know Lando Norris that's his boy. So that's the one guy that's a assured seat at McLaren. So it'll be interesting. Pat O'Ward has made comments about the whole situation. He thinks it's laughable. He thinks it's stupid. So for him to come out and say that as one of Zach Brown's drivers, it's pretty interesting, and I think it goes a long way to say what is happening, but kind of behind the scenes. Because Pat O'Ward obviously is one of those guys that wants that F1 ride. He wants to be given that opportunity if that door swings open. Obviously, he went to Red Bull to do the same thing, so he wants to be in F1. He wants to give that a try. He wants to put his name at the top of the charts there. So, I mean, you got Pato, you got Palou, you've got I'm not going to say Ricardo anymore. I think he's out of the equation. But you got Piastri, or however I think that's how you say it.
Piastri or whatever his name is. Yeah.
You've got Rossi's not in that equation, I don't think.
Well,
and then you've got Lando, obviously, that's there. So
did you see the news about Ricardo today?
That Haas has gotten a hold of him?
Yeah, I don't know if that would work though.
That would be a lot of money for Gene Haas to put up, and I don't know if Gene Haas wants to put up any more money right now. That'd be the one thing that I think would be a hard push for that, just to see Haas put up that money. I think really this was another cool thing. We're bouncing around here, but still staying in F1. Somebody sent Sebastian Vettel like a gift to sign, and he signed it, and he put a little message. He said, "Please cheer for Mick now. He needs it." So yeah. I thought that was cool. He's trying to say, all my fans, go cheer for Schumacher right now. Give him everything. So I think that's cool, obviously, that relationship there. But a lot of people are pointing Schumacher into that seat at Alpine. So that could be an interesting jump for him, kind of out of that Ferrari team, if you will, or roundup, however you want to say it. But that's what I wanted to kind of bring up there is, do you think he would step out of that Ferrari round up that Ferrari family to get a ride maybe with a better team right now.
I mean, right now, why not? If that opportunity's there. I mean, we both know that Mick's got talent. He's showing that he's got the talent that he can be that guy. But if Haas isn't going to give you the resources to be that guy, and Alpine is willing to say, "Hey, you know what? Come on board. You can run up front. You'll be top 10. You might not be able to get a win here. You might be able to pull off a win here or there. We don't know, but why not? Your career is based on you winning at this point."
Right. Yeah. You are. I mean, F1 is what have you done for me today? Not yesterday, not the day before, today. So it'll be interesting. I just don't see Ferrari, unless they really cut ties with Sainz. If he has another year like he's having this year, I don't see him lasting that long. But if he kind of comes out of this slump, really performs well, they've got two younger guys that could sit there for a while. So I think if I'm Schumacher, I do look for a way out of that Ferrari team, because really your only other option is Alfa Romeo, and that's not looking too promising, honestly, either.
No. Well, so for those that are wondering why we're like jumping back and forth, all this ties into each other, because if you really think about it, like we got McLaren in F1, you got McLaren in IndyCar, and depending on how everything goes, with that McLaren seat open in F1, and not knowing what's going to happen with Palou, like there's going to be a lot of silly season throughout the rest of this year, in the off season going into next year, on who's going to fill in that seat, and if it's this person, who's going to take over that seat, and if it's this guy coming from IndyCar going, like it all ties into this, because at this point, like everything is just riding on what is going to happen between the Palou and Chip Ganassi deal.
Yeah,
I mean, we can sit here and say like, oh, Ricardo is going to go to Haas, or Mick's going to leave Haas and go to Alpine, but until we know what actually happens with Palou, like, I mean, obviously it's just hearsay, and it gives us a good debate to talk about for the next several months. But if Palou doesn't leave Ganassi, like, then what?
Right, I think that's really weird. Honestly, I think it's a really weird situation. I think it's a really awkward season for Palou. I think he does nothing in performance, and he wastes a year if that happens. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see, because if he goes there, it's going to be because the federal court says, "Yeah, dude, you've got to do this. This is what you signed on for."
And let's say he has to stick with Ganassi. Would McLaren consider Mick Schumacher? You know what I mean?
No, I don't think so at that point, because they've got Piastri, and I really think McLaren wants him for IndyCar, not necessarily F1. So
I'm talking about for the F1 side though. If the opportunity was there? And
I think it's Piastri, no doubt. Like I think they know that seat is filled by Oscar. So it's interesting to see all the jostling around that they have right now. So
I mean, it's a fair question though. I mean, it's something that. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
I don't know if Palou has I don't know if he can get a super license. So you might have to run a year as a reserve driver to get a super license before you're able. Because winning an IndyCar championship does give you points to your super license. I can't remember how much though. It does not. Which they're trying to. They say they're trying to make a exclusion. If you are a past IndyCar champion, then you could run an F1. But right now. I think you get more for winning an F2 title than you do an IndyCar title, which I don't necessarily agree with. But that's how the FIA ruling is on that. So that's interesting. Another interesting bit of news that kind of twines together between IndyCar and F1 is about 30 minutes north of my house. Mr. Michael Andretti is building a huge, and I mean a huge looking facility there. One that will definitely be able to function for a F1 team, they say. So it's even got its own runway out there. So it'll be interesting to see this thing. If you see the specs of it, I don't know how much of it is like actually that's what it's going to look like, or if this is just like a first mock-up of it. But it looks a lot like the McLaren headquarters out in UK.
I mean, could this be the next step for Andretti to get the F1 team.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And I think with him almost signing the dotted line on this facility, because you're talking some big cash here, that deal is pretty much solidified, that deal is there. They're just waiting to come out and say it at this point. So I think 2026 is the year that Andretti is in F1. I think he's pretty much got himself there because he has had some help now. Also, Mario came out and says, "Hey guys, don't forget about me. I'm an F1 champion, so y'all can stuff it if you think Andretti's not meant to be here, because you're wrong. Like I said, I'm an F1 champion, so don't forget me." So Mario's come out in defense of his son, which is cool to see. And I think he called him out and said, "You're afraid of the IndyCar boys. You're afraid of what we can do here." So. Obviously, those guys never gonna want to get the second hand there. So I think they're coming around to Andretti and F1 a little more here lately, and I really hope they are, because I would love to see that.
That early drawing of that they showed from the outside of that little lake for the new building is an incredible looking building. I
zoomed in on those cars. Did you see the cars in the facility? So one of the cars is the Johnny Player? Johnny. It was the black and gold one that Mario won the F1 championship with. So I think Mario has a replica or something of that. So they'd have that in there. Another one it looked like was Michael's car when he was Senna's teammate at McLaren. So
the one looks like the car that Marco lost to Hornish at the Indy 500.
Wow.
His rookie car.
What color was that? The white and blue?
Yeah.
I think I remember what you're talking about there. And then, like I said, you look a little farther, and it looks like I believe there was like a Marlboro one there. So I believe that was what McLaren had then when Michael was Senna's teammate. So
yeah.
I think that was just cool. I being the little nerd I am, I had to zoom in on those cars, and it's like, what's he got? What's he got? So it'll be interesting to see that. Scott saying Audi to F1. I believe that's what they were saying with Andretti, is that's who they would go along with.
I thought that deal was pretty much set in stone that was going to happen from what I saw.
It'd be very. I know Porsche ended up buying into Red Bull, so they're in F1 come 2026. So Honda will officially be out of the Red Bull game.
So here, not the Audi's F1 plans to take shape as announcement looms. The entry by Volkswagen brands Audi and Porsche into Formula One has been one of motorsport's worst kept secrets. Blah 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 blah. Looks like it's 2026.
Okay, so Porsche and Audi are the same, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they're going in with Red Bull.
It was like it was 450 million is what they're.
It's half of Red Bull Racing. They bought half. So they're saying I'm invested here. We are absolutely invested. So that's cool to see. As kind of Honda pulls out. Honda said they pulled out last year, but then you see them, and it's like they're right there. Still in it, kind of facilitating it. And they said, "Yeah, we'll help you out till 2026 here." So, I wish Honda would stay in it, but I think the whole was it carbon neutral by 2026 or 2030, kind of took F1 out of the books there, because your big facilitator there is IndyCar, is Honda engine. So. Half the field in a Honda, you're going to want to do that rather than 2 cars, or 4 cars, I should say, in F1 still. So
I was reading up a little bit here on the super license, because they have a points breakdown here. I guess it's like series that are included in you being able to get the super license include Formula 2, Formula 3.
So they don't even count an IndyCar championship anymore?
Well, no, they do. This is just some of the Formula 4, IndyCar Series Championship, Formula E Championship.
So you're telling me Formula 4 is above IndyCar?
No, this is just
I thought that was like the rank of like okay.
No,
I was about to throw something.
This is all stuff that you can win to get in, or that you can get.
Does it say the amount of points that you get for each?
So for like Formula 2, if you get First in a championship, it's 40 points. Second is 40 points. Third is 40 points. Formula 3 is 30, 25, 20. And each series is different. So,
what do you get for winning an IndyCar title?
40.
Okay, so you do get more now for winning an IndyCar title than you do.
Actually,
no. It's flowing locks, Jason. Flowing locks.
Let's see here. So, you're going to find this kind of crazy. But reading through this, you got IndyCar Championship, Formula E, Endurance, the LMP1s and the LMP2s, Japanese Super GT, the Deutsch Tourenwagen Masters, IMSA WeatherTech, anything that's FIA sanctioned.
Right, that makes sense.
NASCAR Cup.
Okay, so you do get how much do you get for winning the Cup?
15.
Okay, so they don't give them nearly what they give IndyCars. Okay.
Nope. V8 supercars.
What do you have to have a super license? Does it say how many points? 50?
Oh man.
I didn't know if it was right there.
I'd have to go back through and look because there's certain breakdowns. Like example scenario, driver A was eligible for a super license in 2017 with 40 points. Driver B wasn't. But then you go to 2017 with the grace period. Driver A got one with 38 points, and driver B got one with 57. So like there's something with the grace period. Once a driver reaches 40 points, they're given a 3-year grace period to race competitively in Formula One before losing the ability to gain a license.
Yeah, so it looks like 40. That's what I was looking at there. It looks like 40 is you're in. So if you do now, they've got it to where if you win an IndyCar, you got a 3-year grace period that you could compete there with F1. So,
dude, you can get points for the NASCAR Basic Xfinity Series, too.
What, like 5?
10.
And that you got to win 4 of those to get up there. So,
but still, so the super so we were talking about the super license things. Like you have to at least get 40 points, but you're talking about a guy like Jimmy Johnson could technically go run Formula One with 7 championships. He
technically can go run IndyCar too, but he's not doing very good at it now, is he?
No, but I'm just saying, like, just based on how their super points is broken down, like that's insane that he could technically go run Formula One.
Not anymore. That 3-year grace period is up.
Okay,
but no, I'm with you though. I'm with you. I see what you're saying. So yeah, that is pretty interesting little fact there. So Stewart could have got hopped in back in his day. Jeff?
Technically, Kyle Larson can right now, and Chase Elliott, they're in their grace period.
Larson wouldn't have the points.
He won a championship.
But you said that's 15 points.
Yeah, but he also...
now, if it counts any of his dirt stuff, then...
Well, no, because he has a... Because they also talked about wins, too, because he also has a Rolex 24. I just closed out of it, so I can't...
No, you're good. You're good.
But he gets, like, 10 points for winning a sports car race.
Fair enough. I did. So yeah, that way, and he did. He said he'd love to try one out. So it would be cool to see somebody like that. Not now. I can't see. It'd be like you hopping in a V. It'd be like you getting into a Formula V there, Scoot.
Right.
There's things in this world that just ain't gonna happen. There ain't enough petroleum jelly. Couldn't get yourself. Right again. Try it. Yeah, I don't think you could do it. I don't know. What else you got? You got anything else? F1 back this week at Spa.
Yeah.
That should be. Hopefully it doesn't rain. They're calling for a little bit of rain. We all have a little PTSD from last year's Spa race in the rain. That was a little.
That was some insane racing last year, though, in the rain.
They didn't race.
I know. As I said, that was some insane racing.
They paced for a couple laps. And they said, "Nah, this ain't gonna happen." So that was.
Everybody got half a point.
Yeah, Russell got his first podium.
Yeah, everybody got half points.
So hopefully he says is good there. He says, "Lube it on up, baby. Lube it on up."
How about did you watch any of the Knoxville Nationals?
I didn't. I was in Wisconsin. I was partying my little brain out.
Yeah, missed a good one. Donnie Schatz, 11-time Knoxville national champion. I don't think I've ever rooted so hard in my life for Donnie Schatz to win a freaking race. It pained me to root for him, but it was just like it's so hard to root against that guy now. And he was in a Ford, so
they got some Kokomo action going up here soon, don't they?
Oh yeah. Oh, we got to talk about that because like this is hysterical in its own nature. Because that'd be a race for you to go to is Kokomo. I've never been there. Yeah,
it's not far at all.
They call it the Smackdown, and there is some smack talk going on Twitter right now.
Is this when the two got into it last year? Like did he say something about the dude's wife or his mom, or his mom got into it, or
kind of? But like, basically, what happened is like this year, Robert Ballou, they call him the Madman, has just been running over everybody. Like the only way he's winning races is he's giving you the right rear, and that's it. He's actually. I shared the video a while back. And it was actually last weekend of July when they had all the fights at the races or whatever. Ballou wrecked two guys, and the one guy came down and drop kicked him when he was in the car.
Okay? Nice. I do remember seeing that.
Okay, so he's got the nickname that he's just bulldozing over people. So he got this shirt, dude, and I gotta tell you what the wording of it is for like legitimately because I don't want to get this wrong. It says the Ballou dozer pushing through the BS, and it's a picture of his USAC car with a dozer on the front.
Nice.
So, one of the guys he's wrecked, Brady Bacon, decided, hey, I'm going to market my own T-shirt, and it says laying the smackdown, and it's got a picture of Brady Bacon being chased by it's a front end loader, but he calls it a bulldozer with the Madman and Robert Ballou's number. So
nice.
So they're going back and forth, and then like I guess Ballou's made the comment that he wants to drive a midget because that's what Brady Bacon mostly drives, and Bacon's like, well, you're not going to fit in a midget, and Ballou took it as, oh, you just called me fat.
I mean, I did not just call Scott fat. He got the same thing. Yeah, got a little lube to get in that, baby.
Yeah. But no, Ballou's a tall guy. So like the issue that he has is there's a picture of him in a car the one time where he sits over top of the chassis, which is a safety problem. And that's what Bacon was referring to. So now it's just these two are just going back and forth. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a fight at that race.
That's like the old style Indy cars. Their head is above the roll. It's like, well, what is that gonna do, dude? Like your neck's gonna snap. You flip that thing. So, Scott, calm down. I was calling you tall. Relax, there, big guy.
But you should definitely go to that though. There's definitely a chance for a fight. You can participate.
I have no need to participate in a fight. That is not the way I roll. I am a gentle, big old giant. I'm a short giant, but I'm big. But yeah, no, that's not. I've never woke up in my life and said, "Man, I feel like getting punched in the nose today." It just doesn't sound fun.
Actually, it's that race is this weekend, so there you go.
I'm so tied up right now. I've got so many kids things right now. That's I got cheerleading. I've got soccer. I've got cheerleading, soccer. It's a never-ending whirlwind here.
Make sure. Can you please emphasize? Are you actually cheerleading? Or are you?
I mean, I cheer on the side. Woo! Yeah! Way to go!
I just want everybody to take a picture of that.
But I'm not the leader. I'm the cheer follower. The cheer follower.
He's team mom.
Yeah. Oh, all day, every day. All day, every day. You know it, baby. Joe Stetson, he's going to be our reporter here from VIR at the IMSA race. He's going Sunday. So
we got some good races coming up this week, though, for everybody. I mean, you got Daytona. I think Daytona is going to be the best race of the weekend. I don't know about you.
I think
Daytona's
Spa.
The best race.
I'm going to say they're back. They've had a vacation. They're ready to roll some cars, maybe a little tune-ups, a little freshen, feeling good, feeling groovy. You know, we'll see. I think I'm a huge F1 guy though. I love F1 these past few seasons. And Daytona, I hear the word Daytona and I think to myself, I do because I'm staying off of iRacing this week.
Yeah.
because it's Daytona. So not a lot of racing for old Sean here this week.
All Stars are in PA this week for me, so that'll be exciting. They're actually like on an 8-week swing through Pennsylvania and New Jersey, so got that going on. Outlaws they're out in the Midwest right now, and then obviously you got the big SmackDown at Kokomo. I'm telling you, dude, if you have flow and you want to watch a possible like shitstorm happen,
I'll watch it on Flow. I'll watch it here.
Well, I meant in general, anybody who's watching, if you want to watch like a shit show happen, watch Kokomo.
I'm Kenny Wallace's nightmare, dude. Like I'll watch that shit on Flow all the time. I'll watch it on Flow all the time, and the track's right down the road for me. I'm bad about that.
Well, Scott said USF 2000 at Indy Road this week, so there you go.
Well, thank God something is off of Daytona or everything else is at Road Atlanta. It's like, come on. Come on. Those are like my 2 least favorite tracks on iRacing. I hate Road Atlanta.
You can run USAC sprint cars at Kokomo too. So
I like the wingless. I'm a fan of the wingless on iRacing. I know a lot of people don't run them, but if I'm gonna hop in dirt, I'm gonna hop on a wingless sprint. I think those are fun. I want to try the asphalt sprints, but I don't think they've been updated in so long.
Hey, you know what? We were talking about it before the show. You know what we forgot to talk about here?
Nope.
How about our boy Jesse Love?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jesse, guest of the show, went to what was that? Illinois State Fair.
He said, "See you later."
Led every single lap of that race.
Yeah, that's the way to do it right there, flag to flag. Congrats to Mr. Jesse Love on that. That was one heck of a run there. You know, and what I love to see, because ever since we've talked to him and we got to know Jesse there, I'm always looking at these Toyota drivers. And it looks like it's lining up perfect for him and old grandson there to enter. Obviously, you're going to see what's his name, Ty, in there before. But I think the timeline. You look at the timeline of people, you could see Jesse possibly start his career in the 23XI, you know, or taking over for Hamlin in the 11. So. I think timing is working very well in Jesse's favor here, and man, he's on fire. He's having a good runs.
Well, this is where my problem comes as being a Kyle Busch fan, because I want to see him stay with Gibbs.
He's going to Chevy, baby. He's going to a Chevy.
Yeah,
he's going to be in a bow tie.
I think so too, but I mean, the problem that he's going to run into, he wants to be the highest paid, which he is the highest paid driver, but all the talent that's coming up through Toyota's development program right now, it's just like he's going to be replaced.
Why would I keep you? It's corporate America to its finest right here. You've got 6 interns that are going to take a shit ton less money for that spot and probably produce maybe a little better than what he has in the past years. So I definitely think it's going to be interesting right now. He's saying, who do you think's going to fill in for the 9? Is that Gregson taking to Gregson?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't know the truck or Xfinity guys enough to.
I can see Ty Dillon going in that car
to fairly. You think he's
to fall
hold? Back?
As a temporary hold.
Does De Benedetto? I don't know what
he's staying in trucks.
I think you don't think you think his career is trucks now.
I think he already made an announcement that he was returning to the truck series for next year.
Well, you could still run Xfinity too.
Yeah, but so I'm with you. I think that 9 ride is going to be a full-time ride. So like whoever's going to go in that's going to run for the championship.
Benedetto's in a Ford too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that ain't
but
gonna work anyway.
But still, I mean, even if it was a Chevy, I don't see the 25 is a Chevy. I just don't see the 9 ride being a part-time ride, especially with it being a junior car.
No, fair enough there. Yeah, I'll give you that. I will give you that.
That's why I think like Ty Dillon maybe just as a placeholder to see what would open.
It's not going to happen, but I would love to see Jesse run for a guy like Junior. I think that would just really, really boost it. But he's got that sweet ride right now with Toyota, and I think he's pretty set with that.
you might find me crazy, but I think Jesse's first NASCAR ride might actually be in the KBM truck.
I could see that.
I could see that happen. I think that would be good for him.
But here's the thing. I think with this announcement of him moving to another Cup ride comes the announcement that he's changing his engine manufacturer in trucks. So that takes him out of the Toyota run there.
Well,
there's a lot of what ifs there.
I'm banking on him staying in Toyota. Because honestly, the next announcement I see happening is Kurt Busch is going to announce his retirement at the end of the year. I do 100% agree with that. Now, that could Kyle fill in for his brother there? That's a possibility. So, oh God, Kyle's a freaking pipe dream. Jimmy's got why? What? Kyle, shut up.
Oh God!
Get
him out of IndyCar.
I like the car you made for me, but shut up.
Get him out. Get him out. Jason's even saying it. Shut up, Kyle. Oh, jeez. You've ruined my mood now. No, I'm joking around. Jesse is set up pretty good, though. I think he's 6. But it will be interesting to see. Kyle Busch should be making an announcement anytime now. So it'll be interesting to see. A lot of people think he's going to, Colleague?
Yeah, I think if Kurt Busch announces his retirement, he goes to the 45 car, and then Ty Gibbs jumps in the 18.
Yeah, I think Gibbs is definitely, especially you've gotten that Cup ride now. Like you've been in it, you know what it's like with this incident here with Kurt. So I think he is set pretty well for the 18 machine. So it'll be interesting to see how everything kind of falls in line. A lot of silly seasons still to come and everything. We got F1 seats that are open, IndyCar seats that are open. We're seeing dirt guys switch left and right. You know, those guys still are making moves, and obviously NASCAR. So it's definitely going to be a fun one to watch here. I think I've got a cheerleading game next Tuesday, but I'll tell you what, if we got something next Tuesday, we're going to reschedule. We're not going to just re-go or miss here. So we'll make sure that we post that there. You got anything else for this week?
Other than Kyle said he doesn't deserve this, yeah, he does deserve it.
Cracky said he does. I mean, it's straightforward. He definitely deserves it. He puts it on himself, honestly.
Other than thanks everybody who checks us out, follows us, likes our content, everything. We appreciate it. I mean, I know we haven't been around for the last month, but we see you. Trust us, we see you.
Oh yeah, we'll keep posting. We're still doing stuff behind the scenes here. I'm doing a little animation. I'm trying to. I'll get with you on that. So I'm learning new things here, trying to bring new things to BW Sports 1. So we'll see how that works out there.
Anime. I mean, what?
No. No, that's anime's not bad. I think it's the. We don't need to go down that run, but I think that's just a type of cartoon. But
yeah.
We need to ask.
Kyle.
To ask.
We'll ask Kyle about
Matt, Mr. Constant on that one. He would know. He would know both forms of it too. So, well, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. I've got to go to the bathroom. I've been shaking my leg. I'm seeing yellow right now.
That's all good.
Well, everybody, you guys have a fantastic one. Thank you so much for tuning in here today. Checkers and Wreckers Live. We're back. We're having fun. Another good show, Matt. Thank you.
No. Thank you.
There you go. Everybody, you have a good one. Good night and good.